throat, so just bear with me if it cracks a bit. So, I'm Josh. Most of you know me. I've been here like my whole life since I was a little kid. I've grown up here. I go to summer camp every year. This is my 4th year, and after every single year, I think this is it. This is the best. We're not going to beat this next year. I don't know what we're going to do. And every single year, without fail, God's like, "Hey, check this out." It's just He always blows it out of the water. It's amazing. Just like the worship and the word, it was so good. Like the worship, from the get-go, the first night, we were all just like raising our hands. The Holy Spirit was there. Like sometimes I would just stop and look around, and I would see everyone else lifting their hands, worshiping God, or like on their knees on the floor, just dancing around. It was so cool. And the word Justin gave, it was like God was just speaking straight through him. It was like every single night he just said what needed to be heard. And sort of the overall theme was illuminate. And that really got to me because every year we go to camp, and then we get a spiritual experience. We come back, and after a couple of weeks, we ride that high, and then we go back to our routine. And so this year, Justin was talking about how we need to illuminate. We need to bring that home. We need to shine here. We need to shine at our home, illuminate, so everyone can see the spiritual high that we felt. And I think this year it's happening. We're not going to stop 3 weeks. We're not going to stop 3 months. We're going to go. We're going to take it home. It was so cool. Like even at the lake, there was these 2 girls that we met. They weren't with our youth group, but they saw us and they wanted to see what we were about. So we found these 2 girls at the lake. They showed up. They were there for the word. They were there for worship. They hung out with us for a couple days just because they saw us and they really saw Jesus shining through us. And on a personal level, for me, there was one night Justin was talking about iniquity and how it can really chain you up and it can cause a lot of sin. I had that. I was bitter. I was indifferent. If something went wrong in my life, I would stand by and I would let it happen because that's just what happens to me. That's just what I assumed. But Tim Bryant, he prayed for me, and he just broke it off. I know that's not supposed to happen. I can call on God. I can crush the spirits of darkness that are attacking my family. And another night, we had a bunch of guys prayed for me. We had Noli praying for me, and then Jacob. They were just praying for my family, breaking it off, because we've been in such a dark place for a long time. My dad's in the hospital. My mom's the only one that works. We have to choose if we want to pay the bills or eat this month. And so Noli and Jacob and just a bunch of other guys, they laid their hands on me and they prayed, and they broke it off. It's broken off. That's the lowest we're going to get. We're going up now. Our family's going to restore. We're going to heal. Just like, so another great thing about camp is you're there for a week with a bunch of people. You might not normally talk to these people, but you're at camp. You can't just pretend they're not there. Like Kobe, Steven, Dane, like all these people. I wouldn't normally talk to them, but they were there, and they're so cool. Like God is shining through them. He compelled me to learn like about their lives. It's awesome. And a person I want to call specifically is Isaac over there. He's so cool. Just every night he was getting so much breakthrough in the Lord. Like you meet him at the beginning of the week, and today he's such a different person. Like he's like lifting his hands, he's crying all the time. It's so good. I just want to say like I'm really proud of him. It's so cool, just how God works. And the last thing was during the last worship set, Zach came up and he was talking, and he was just saying how he loves everyone and how it was such a good experience. He's moving away next month. So he singled me out, and he walked over to me, gave me a hug, and then he anointed me with his power, what he has. He's seen in me. He's given me the leadership that he has and the heart and compassion for other people. And personally, that meant so much to me because I've looked up to Zach for years. I was seeing him like, I want to be like that. That's a perfect example of who I should be. So he gave that to me. And I just want to say, I'm going to carry that. I'm going to bring it all the way, Zach.
So I can actually read my notes this time. Because, shake to that. Alright, so a lot of you know me, some of you don't. My name is Jacob. Like Pastor just said, I grew up in this church. And then we had to move away just with my dad's job and stuff. But like Josh said, I mean, the first night, it was just, worship was amazing. I mean, everybody was getting wrecked, and then it just got better. This is the first camp that I've been to, I think, that every night the Spirit moves so heavily that, I mean, whether we're running around the sanctuary, you know, we're on our faces in the front, it's just, it was awesome. And then, I want to call out Anthony. I don't know where he is, but there he is. Hey, buddy. Who knew that girl could get up and preach, right? She was talking about just breaking free in worship, and God told me to go pray for Anthony. And I mean, I was just praying over him, and then before he even walked away, he's already got his hands up in the air, and he's up in the front. I mean, he started the week as a shy kid that wouldn't talk to anybody, you know? He's up in the front of the worship, just pouring his heart out to the Lord. It was amazing. And then, you know, another thing is, I've been gone for about a year now, and like just seeing the growth in these guys, like in all of these guys that are up here with me, and some of the ones that are down here, it broke my heart. It made me cry just to see how far that they have come. I promise myself I'm going to cry this time. It broke my heart to just, it made me overflow with joy just to see how far these guys have come. Like this guy right here is a leader. Like kids should look up to him. Like even down here, we're praying for some kids down here during worship. It's like, that's what it's about, is this kid right here just jumped right in there without even being asked. Just right in there and started praying for kids. Like, that's what it's about. Oh, I lost my notes. And then, you know, it was awesome. Like, I got to pray over some people. I got to pray over Angelina and over stuff that I've wanted to see broken off of his family since I've known him. I've known him my whole life. Things that I wanted to see chains, addiction, that have been on his family for so long that I got to be the one to pray for you to break that off, and that is so cool, man. I'm so excited to see where your family's going to go after this. And then even, you know, when it wasn't even during a service, we were just out talking, and then, you know, this guy and all these people, Rayma, they all started praying for me for healing for my back and my knees and stuff from football. It's like, that's not even something, like, it's not even during service, it's during free time. We're just supposed to be hanging out, and they're over here all around just praying for me, just warring in the Spirit. It was awesome. And then, same as Josh, I had, we were talking about iniquity, and Pastor Ed and Noel over here made me cry for like 20 minutes. I just bawled so hard. But just, I've always dealt with rejection, something that's just hounded me my entire life, that's made me very angry, very bitter, very, that I've had, you know, a need to just be accepted by everyone, and that just got broken off of me, and then I just cried. I want to thank Sam and Katie and Zach for just letting me pour my heart out to you guys. Like, that's so awesome that you take, you know, Sam took an hour one night to just hear me pour my testimony out to him, everything that's happened over the last 2 years, and just hear my heart and just be there to even, you know, throw ideas back at me. Like, it was awesome. And then I also want to thank Ben and Justin. I mean, who preaches while there's like half the youth groups on the floor crying and praying for each other, and he just goes on with this message, and he's just like, you know what, it doesn't matter, this is what needs to happen, you know? Like, that's what it's all about right there. And then Ben just leading worship and just, like, Ben, I love you, man. Like Ben's just all about it. I mean, Ben bounced around the stage more than we're bouncing around in the youth group. Like, it's awesome. So just thank all of you guys, all the leaders, everybody that made this camp happen. Thank you.
That's my man.
I'm sorry. This is so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, those of you who don't know me, my name is Noah Jr., but I was just calling Noah since I was a baby, so I just stuck with that name. And, so summer camp is just always amazing for me every year. It's just so awesome. I get to spend time with my friends up here and down there. Like, just so awesome. And also the best part for me is worship. Every night is just so awesome. I thank Ben for that. My awesome guitar teachers who teaching me ever since I started. I thank him for doing summer camp. I thank Pastor Justin for being an awesome pastor throughout the whole week. He's been so amazing in his words all week long. And the real blessing for me was seeing all of us praising together, because it just blesses my heart that my church family is really getting into God and just really seeking out what He has planned for their lives. It gives me hope for our generations. We're called generational hope. It gives me hope that my generation will be a world changer. My generation will change this world. That all of us, no matter what we go through, we can change this world to Christ. When we're fishers of men, we're going to lead people back to Christ. We're going to fish them out. We're just going to reel them in. Reel them into God. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. And seeing my brother on the ground crying, that is what we go to summer camp for, is for breakthrough. For breakthrough. Who's in the camp? Who's in the camp? Yeah, he's receiving what we received when we were at summer camp. He's receiving what we had. And that just blew me away. God continues to blow me away every day of my life with my family. And I know it's just going to keep blowing me away. It's amazing. So I just thank the whole church for being so kind to my family all these years. And thank you, all of you guys who are up here with me today. You're just so amazing. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Sorry, I got so nervous when I was up here that I just stopped and had to sit down. So. So, during worship, it was insane. I did not think that teenagers or anyone could pray for people and have the Holy Spirit actually move through them. I thought it was just adults, pastors, and Casey. Because it's Casey. I was completely blown away at youth group with the amount of prayer and how much God moved through us teens. Like, that never happened when I was growing up. Just like didn't exist. And I just want to say that blew my mind. And I'm just so excited for what God has for me next.
So I'm gonna start from way back then. So about a year ago, it was the week or the next week after summer camp, and I went to camp for baseball, and it was at like Rock Creek or something. And I hurt my knee, and then I ended up like leading the next week. I hurt my knee again, my other knee. So yeah, and then we got it checked out. I went with my dad, and we got it checked out. And the doctor said that it wasn't going to heal till I was 21, till my bones were fully developed. So that kind of like gave me a lot of doubt in God, because it was the week after summer camp, so I was like still like that, full of that Jesus high. But then this like catastrophe happened, and I just got really mad at God. Like I held a grudge against him all year. And so coming into summer camp this year, I wasn't expecting any healing. I was not like even hoping for that. Like that's not something that crossed my mind. But one night I was praying, or we all lined up. Justin had us all lined up in the front. We all lined up in like 2 lines, and Sam comes over to me and he's praying for me. And he keeps like going to his hands, touches my knee, going to his hand, touches my knee, and I'm like, what's going on here? And so I feel this in my right knee, which, I didn't mention that. There was a bone missing in my right knee that it like somehow snapped and not there. And I could like feel it. I felt it like reemerge through my, like it was just there. And it was awesome, and I felt total restoration. So the rest of that night I ran around and so I want to say special thanks to Sam for all that. And I want to say special thanks to Noah Baldwin for listening to me for so long, and apparently he didn't even know I was talking, but he was listening anyway. And I want to say thanks to Isaac, wherever he went, right there.
And I want to call Isaac Humison up to give us all a hug.